All right. Let's see if this actually works.
No.
Or twerks.
I think we're live.
Are we live?
I think so.
I don't know what's going on anymore.
Hold on.
When microphones disappear.
Hold on.
Good times. Man, these lights are bright.
Oh, there's
Bright light,
an ad
bright light.
break.
There's an outbreak?
Why do I keep getting ads?
I don't know. It happens. It happens to the best of us.
I think we're live.
All right.
Who knows? Holy moly.
Holy
That
moly.
was... Oh, look
All right.
at that.
I'm just going to turn on my air compressor so we have loud noises.
Oh, my goodness.
All right. Is anybody in here? Did anyone wait
I don't
around?
know. Maybe there's
Probably
like
not.
10.
Everyone's just like, we're
Dan,
in, we're out.
House of Vex is happening.
It's happening. Apparently.
We had major. I don't even know.
I don't even know what to tell you.
Is this registering our mic at least? Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so we had a lot of technical difficulties, and by that I mean his computer wouldn't recognize his mic.
I just had no mic. Yeah, works out. It's great. I love it. I love it.
So he
so
got a
much.
cup of coffee, and I fixed it.
There we go.
Holy jolies.
Right, let's see here. Did that do anything?
There we go.
I just want to play with my cameras and stuff. That's what we're going to do today. We're just going to play with cameras and...
Don't do that, because if you break it, then we're...
You buy
not
it.
in a-
You break it, you buy it. That's what they say.
So, how are all of the 10
Woohoo!
people that are watching us right now?
All right. It's time for paint night, baby.
How are y'all doing?
How's everybody doing? What foods did you eat?
Right?
All the stupid questions that we ask. How many people went to ReaperCon?
It is
I didn't.
freaking Friday.
It is
That's
Friday.
accurate.
Yeah, and it's working just like Friday. Good start to the weekend. We finally made it on. We're good to go. We're rocking and rolling.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, I'm just going to start because we're like started so late.
I know.
And
So
stuff.
we did have a few people that said they went to ReaperCon. But we already know that they went to ReaperCon because
There
they brought
are-
us cake.
Who the heck is that?
Oh my goodness.
They also brought us cake at Gen Con. We've been to 2 cons in the last
Exactly.
3 weeks.
I don't think we were supposed to tell everybody that they brought us cake at Gen Con
Oh,
because
yeah, that's
it
right.
was secret cake.
Secret cake
But that's okay.
made. Oh my gosh, warmed up with butter on it. Holy cow. Game changer. Right there. Write that down.
Oh yeah.
So this is a model I got at ReaperCon, made by Christine Van Patten. She's rocking the sculpting these days. So I'm just gonna start painting it.
Do it.
So as always, if anybody has questions about the Vex or your airbrush in general, ask. I may or may not answer. Just kidding. You may or may not get to make me shut up. That's probably the main problem you got to worry about. But
Yes. Rum cake for life. It was so good.
yeah, write that down.
Oh,
Wow, this model is tiny. Oh, ouch.
oh that is weird.
I stabbed myself.
House of Vex didn't trip stream team stuff here or on the Reaper Discord.
What happened?
For
We're
some reason,
We're not really on.
the Discord, our Discord channel has, or our Discord server has the thing where if somebody goes live,
Yeah.
it tells people with the link,
Right?
and it didn't do that, nor did it do on the Reaper Discord. So.
Well, what do you know? Nothing works, literally.
Clavicus said, I'm laying in bed with a bag of trail mix. It was a poor choice for bed linen friendly snacks.
That sounds delicious, actually.
Chairman, what causes the Vex's needle to stick? It feels like it's sticking behind the trigger. Did you get paint back there?
Is it brand new? Or it didn't stick before and it sticks now. If it's brand new, I'll tell you exactly why. If it's not brand new, I'll tell you what I think it is. But
also, I think he's in our new-ish. He's in our everything class next month.
Hey, check this out. This is a brand new Vex. I am pretty stoked. Sorry,
he said it's new-ish.
Newish.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, was it sticking from day one, or is this like something that's recently happened?
He said no.
Okay.
So it was pretty recent.
So there probably is paint back there. Shoot. One thing you can do is just take your needle, push it in and out a bunch of times. I know that sounds super ghetto fabulous, but it will, like, the needle itself will scrape away any paint that's built up way back here. You could also take the whole airbrush apart, but I don't really think you need to. I mean, that's like a last ditch, last resort, because it takes a while, and usually you put it back together wrong, and then you have other problems. But I would just push my needle in and out a bunch of times and see if that helps. I know sometimes when I finish airbrushing, if I leave my needle forward, even though I've cleaned it out, there's paint in there that will actually make it stick, and so my needle won't. Like when I pull back on the trigger, nothing happens. It just slides along the needle. What I do is I'll unhook it right here and then spin the needle to get it to break the bond. Like the paint's almost like glue in that case. Just spin it and then pull it out and then kind of push it in and out a few times and hopefully that kind of cleans out whatever was in there. Worst case scenario, you take everything apart, and I don't always recommend using pipe cleaners, but a pipe cleaner would get all the way down through the tubes and stuff in here, and you can actually, it'll clean it out really well. You just don't want to use pipe cleaners too much because they do scratch the inside of your airbrush. So
they would.
Scratch. I'm still in con mode. I'm still talking backwards. Like, I was talking backwards at ReaperCon. I was really talking backwards at Gen Con. What was it? When we were at dinner, I tried to say Krispy Kreme. Yeah, and I couldn't say Krispy Kreme. I was like
I don't know.
I tried it like 3 or 4 times, and finally I said the donut.
Yeah, so you put donut here and there. Hello, Heather. And then he said... So it's something I'm doing. I've done those things, but it reoccurs.
So I'm not sure at that point. I mean, obviously something's in there causing it to stick. My guess is paint. You got any gun oil? People actually do use gun oil on their airbrushes. Like maybe needle juice, or try some WD-40 or something. Like, you want to be careful. You don't want to get WD-40 in your paint. But if you do a good breakdown and just try to get it as clean as possible, I would do that. Worst case scenario, I would call up Badger, because they're the manufacturers of the Vex. And just, say, hey, my airbrush is sticking a lot. They'll probably go through the same list of things that I just told you. But maybe they have something else. Like, who knows? It could be like a gasket or something is sticking, or I don't know. I've never had that problem per se, other than there being paint stuck in there. So sometimes you go and you give it a good clean, you clean it all out and the problem's still there. It just feels like it isn't. And then a little bit more paint gets stuck to the paint that's already there, and it just gets worse. So I would definitely try that first before you, start emailing people.
Said, I've resorted to removing the needle when not in use to keep it from getting stuck. Don't get me wrong, all those things help. Just trying to figure out how to keep it from happening. Yes, That is
So-
the main point.
So when they when you finish for the day, are you leaving your needle all the way forward and then locking it down? Or what I do is I unlock it and I pull the needle
No,
back
he said
about an
he's
eighth of an
removing
inch.
it.
No, that's what he says he's doing now to avoid it.
Oh.
When you're just before, when you were having the
He
problem,
said he just pulls it back.
you just pull it back a little bit and then lock it back in and it still sticks. That's really weird that you're getting paint that far back. Because that's my biggest guess is it's got to be paint. If it's coming and going, there's nothing else in your airbrush, you know, or there shouldn't be unless maybe you got gremlins or something. Somebody's pouring glue into your airbrush or something. But I would, that's definitely
Not fun.
not fun. It's usually a problem that gets solved by cleaning, but maybe there's something else going on. Are you using anything weird to, like, what are you thinning your paints with? Water? How's that working? I've like, especially with acrylics, I can never get just water to work. Like, it's got to have isopropyl in it or like some sort of thinner or something.
That's a good question, Zox. He asked if what brand of paint he's using and if all of the brands stick or if it's just like a particular.
Yeah, that could be another thing. Also, you might want to try, like, I use a really easy concoction. I use isopropyl alcohol, either the 70 or 90%. Higher the better. And it's 1 part isopropyl alcohol to 9 parts distilled water. And that seems to cut the paint just enough to get it to go through the airbrush. You can run your paints a little bit thicker that way. And I don't know. I've been doing it this way for like 15 years now, and I haven't had any problems with this. It also doesn't react super badly with different paints. Like, sometimes you'll have like a Vallejo thinner, airbrush thinner, and you put it in Tamiya and it turns to bubblegum. So you want to be really careful when you're actually thinning your paints that you know, just putting water in it though shouldn't be a problem. But I also don't think you're getting the most out of your airbrushing if you're just thinning with water. You definitely need some sort of thinner. This is the cheapest thinner you're going to get. So maybe give that a shot, you know, see what happens. But yeah, otherwise I'm 99% sure you got paint stuck back there, but I don't understand why it's continually getting back there. When you're cleaning out your airbrush, okay, so I always say don't throw away primer, but I'm gonna throw away primer right now. So when I'm cleaning out my airbrush, spray out whatever's left in there or pour it back in the thing. I only poured a little bit in, and then I clean it out firstly right here. So you see how I just squirt it into my cup? It drops into the bigger cup. Reaper bones, and it just goes clear basically. So I can spray that out, maybe spray through a little bit more just to make sure it's fairly clean, like that, and then I pull my needle out. If you have paint in there before you run water through or your thinner, if you just pull your needle out, you're actually pulling paint all the way through the airbrush. So not to say that that's what you're doing, but it could be another issue right there. So you never pull the needle back far when there's paint in the cup. Even if it's like you sprayed it and there's no more, like the paint ran dry, there's still a little bit of paint there. There's paint on your needle everywhere. So pulling it out and pulling that paint all the way through, like you can kind of see on my needle right here, there's still little bits of paint on there, but not very much. So I could see that if you pulled paint through your airbrush it's going to leave some residue in there. And when you run more liquid through it, it's not going to, nothing's going to happen back here. You're always going to have paint back there because no water or thinner or anything gets back here. So if you were to pull paint in there, it's just going to dry right there, and then it will stick to your needle. Now, the best way to break that bond, again, is to twist your needle, and it breaks the bond. If you just try to pull, it's going to be a pain in the butt. It's not going to work very well. The other thing is, which needle are you using?
Oh, that is a good question.
The $1 million question.
The silver ball.
Okay, yeah, that's the right one.
That's the right one.
All right. Rock and roll. Hopefully that helped. If it didn't, I'm sorry, but that's all I can think of right now as to why that would happen.
Also, I think it's super funny. So, like, I'm getting ads on the Twitch stream.
Right.
They keep popping up occasionally. And I keep getting the same one for nitrile, or nitrile? Is that how you say it? Gloves.
Oh, yeah.
Rubber gloves.
They know. They know. My hands are getting all dirty right now.
Yeah.
Oh, poop. I meant to prime that dragon again.
Oops.
We have my airbrushing class
I thought
coming
that
up
was what you were doing.
next month. No, I'm priming this dude.
So, hey Dan. Astley the monk said, by the way, Aaron, I took your blending class at ReaperCon and had a great time.
Oh, great.
Wonderful. By chance, Astley, did you receive your PDF after class? We have 2 people that didn't receive their PDF, but it's because their email address kicked it back to me and I couldn't get it to work. If you didn't receive one, let me know. And then Steve Clearance said, can't say for certain that the needle didn't accidentally get pulled back while paint was in the cup. Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah. So just be real, like, fastidious about that. Don't ever pull it back with paint in the cup because it's funny. I had we actually had a guy at one of my classes a couple years ago, and he was talking about he had an Infinity, a Harder Steinbeck, which is a great airbrush too. And he was just like, I can't get all the paint out. Like, I clean and clean and clean. There's always a little bead of paint in there. There's always going to be paint in your airbrush. Like, get over it. Like, there's no way to get it all out. I mean, I'm sure there's some way, but it would take way too long. So a little bit, you know, if it's all thinned out and there's just like some paint juice in there, that's fine. But pulling back thick paint through your airbrush is not good. Not good any way you look at it. So. And like I said, if it continues on, if you've got it cleaned, you're paying attention, all that stuff, there might be like a gasket issue or something, but I've never had any problems that far back in the airbrush that weren't paint related. So I've never had one of the gaskets break out, or I don't know if they're gaskets, they're O-rings or something like that. Sorry, I'm not Mr. Technical, but
yeah.
Rock and roll. There we go.
She's so stinking cute. Look at her.
Yeah, that's a super. This is such a good sculpt. I love Christine's sculpts are just
beautiful.
They're very unique to her, I think.
Yeah.
It's very, very cool stuff for sure. Okay, so we got that primed. Clean this out. But yeah, I was super stoked at ReaperCon. Ed hooked me up with a new airbrush.
He did.
Like, sweet. And my other one wasn't even broken. That was the awesome thing. I just like collecting them. Yeah, it's always good to have a backup, right? Especially in my case, because I'm not the most clean person when it comes to the airbrush. I'm clean where it counts, but the rest of it gets very dirty.
No problem. If you have, if you start having more issues, send me an email to the email address that I linked right above. I'll try to figure out how to help. I'm usually the one that cleans Aaron's airbrushes, so we'll figure it out.
Yeah. Probably at that point it is worth just emailing Badger because
sure.
they have techs that actually are the designers of the airbrushes and they know every problem that could possibly happen.
Yeah, that's true.
Just when I think I know all the problems, I don't. So.
That is true. Oh, okay. It did finally show up on our Discord.
What's that?
The stream link.
Oh yeah, it just took a while.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you guys were late. We're gonna be late. All right, so this will be like the 14th time I've primed this Dragon Black.
Yep. This is his airbrushing class for conventions and stuff. This is the dragon he uses.
Yep, and it's also the dragon I use in my online class.
Oh, that's true. Forgot about that.
Yep.
Hey, Cranky Dog. I'm gonna go get a drink. Would you like a drink?
Sure.
What kind of drink do you want? Do you want like a drinky drink, or do you want just like a...
I just want my soda.
Okay.
Unless I drank it all.
I don't know.
I love these Reaper Dragons because they're so good to practice your airbrushing and stuff on. And they're, I don't know, like this one's what, $29-30. So it's not like a $400 resin dragon that you're petrified that you're gonna mess up. So I used to always get new dragons, but then I was like, that's kind of wasteful, seeing as I only base coat them in the class. And so I started re-priming them, and it's worked out pretty good. So this is probably this guy's fifth or sixth time being primed. And the details are still good, so that just means that my airbrushing is nice and, thin. Get good coverage, but it's definitely thin enough to not start obscuring details. Set it somewhere.
So how's everyone doing? Who all went to ReaperCon and or Gen Con?
Everyone's already asleep.
I know. Zach said yes to ReaperCon and Gen Con a couple of hours.
Nice.
Really?
Bam! That's how we get rid of crazy bottles.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh, there's a new one.
Whoa. Heather said yes to ReaperCon, no to Gen Con. Hello, Palos. Oh, and Book Jedi, hi. Hi.
Alright.
He was also at ReaperCon. Dodge is here as well.
Who?
Yes, I did fix Dodge. I did fix the audio issue. I would just like that to be known.
Yeah. Liz is the bomb diggity. I don't understand why it turned off. That's what I don't like. Because I was doing private coachings just yesterday and it was working fine. So it's really weird how your computer just changes crap on you. All right, so I'm grabbing the new boxes of paint that were in the swag bag. I think they're in the swag bag.
Paulo said yes to ReaperCon, no to Gen Con. Dan said no to both. And ReaperCon said this year is going to be killer. I don't know. We went to both and we didn't get sick, so.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I don't know. I've heard a couple of people.
Chris Spots got really sick.
He did, but it wasn't COVID.
But it wasn't COVID, so it's just, I think,
sort of cold.
you know, not being out with people for so long has kind of messed us all up.
Yeah. Hello said, and the Vex is in the perfect condition as always. Yes. Always.
Oh, yeah.
Heather said Liz fixes everything. I try. New paints.
Try.
Always new paints. Yeah, we're finally opening the paints that we got from our
swag
boxes.
So we were so busy before ReaperCon and Gen Con, just with cons coming back into swing. We didn't do anything. Didn't prepare. It was crazy.
Dodge said, the computer changed it. That's what my dad sounds like when he says the VCR stopped working.
Yeah.
Aw, sorry we missed you, cranky dog.
What color should I paint this out of these new colors?
Green.
Oh, no. No.
I'm just kidding.
How dare you? All right.
Blue or purple?
I'm going to start with this Death Knight Black.
Okay, well.
This is my shadow.
Awesome. Yeah. Getting tested is smart. I don't know how we managed to just not get anything.
Yeah.
But those masks, man.
Hey.
We got mask me.
Babelicious. You know what happened to the little the water dropper bottle? Was that ReaperCon?
Oh, the one that I told you I found and then now I can't
hid
find
somewhere.
it. I didn't hide it. Maybe. Oh, you know what?
You threw it away.
No, I didn't throw it away, but I bet it's in one of those boxes that we threw in the garage so that we would get it out of the house so that people wouldn't see that we had tons and tons of unopened miniatures in our house. So I think they're in the garage. Do I need to go out there and check?
Yeah, if you could. Otherwise, I think there's some on the wall.
Okay. Just FYI, Paolo said you should do Necro Purple. Heather said super green.
Necromancer Purple. Okay, so we're going to do purple next.
Purple with pink polka dots. Yes. Okay.
Super scary.
If you type in chat, I won't be here to read it. So this is where I leave you for a few minutes to go
This
look
is
for
going away.
something. Why do you have a mask on your desk?
I know, because I'm a gangsta.
Baby, it's... Bless it. So I'll be right back. Yeah, it's a garage of shame. That's pretty accurate. Okay, I'll be right back. Keep them entertained, babe.
So,
Don't tell good stories.
I will try not to tell poop stories. Except for that one time I was on a walk. No. Unless you really want to hear that one. But true life stories. So, what was I going to say? Now I'm like, lost my train of thought. Oh, I discovered how to come back from a trade show and just start working right away. Because I always tell myself, I'm going to start working as soon as I get back. And then you get back and it's like, oh, I'd much rather just sleep in. And then you start playing video games. Then a week goes by and you're like, oh my gosh, I got to get back to work. So what I started doing was when I get back from a con, I mow the lawn the next morning. And out here in Georgia in the summer, it's like it's cooking, right? So that is a major ordeal. But after that, working's like a breeze. So that's my little hack for actually being productive after I get back from a trip, because it's very easy to just do nothing. I mean, I don't know. Conventions take a lot out of you sometimes, and so you just gotta kind of fake it. All right, so this looks good. I can see it's a little bit blue, but it just looks black on camera, so it's all right. Let's do. All right, so the next color was Necromancer Purple, I believe. Spray that out. So we ordered a new desk, and I can't stand my camera is on the right side of me, and I'm right-handed, so like you get that in. So I have to airbrush like from the side. Once we get our new desk, I can switch my camera to the other side, and then it'll be super awesome. So I'm super excited to finally get that going. When it will be done, who knows? So. All right, so we'll get this. What was that other color? Oh, Necromancer Purple. This better be a good color. It almost looks like a burgundy or something.
I did find more paint that we got from ReaperCon.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there was tons of paint. I just grabbed those three.
Well, you missed the best one. Oh, no, you didn't.
Yeah, I got the best one.
We got 2 packs of the Gloomin' Grave.
So I'm going to just see how thick I can spray this out of the Vex. I didn't thin it at all. It was just whatever water was in my brush. That's how much I thinned it. So we'll find out real quick if this works or not. Oh, it actually does spray.
So I did not find the dropper bottle, so.
Did you find the one on the wall?
Yeah.
This guy's kind of evil. I don't know how bright I actually want this, but this is a pretty cool color. It's spraying pretty smooth for not really being thinned at all. Alright. Where did those things go?
Ooh, my hands smell like ice cream. Okay, there, I mixed it.
We actually mixed it. I usually just squirt it out of this bottle.
Well, I just saved you stuff.
Years,
I was being
years
a
off my life.
sweet human being and not paying attention, and I did it anyways. Whatever.
Sweet. Thanks.
You're welcome. Okay.
So it actually has water in it?
This is safe to leave him alone. Yeah.
Okay.
But I still have alcohol on my hands.
It makes your
Don't
hands
set me on fire.
makes your hands feel better.
A garage of opportunity. Yes, I like that. Oh, you were talking about mowing the lawn?
Yeah. I told him my secret to getting back in the swing of things.
You just start off.
I mow the lawn, and then like work doesn't seem nearly as hard.
It's true.
All right. So I need a brighter purple color, and I'm just gonna try this Vampire Polar. Is that it? I don't know.
Make sure that it's not a shiny color.
It doesn't matter.
A metallic.
Ooh, that looks cool.
Pearlescent color. Okay.
Okay, we are definitely thinning this down though because
Is that a model from Vesperian? I don't.
it was one of the 3D print places at ReaperCon. We bought it from them, so I don't know exactly who the sculptor is.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
White Werewolf Tavern.
Is that
Sorry, I'm still catching up. So.
Is that the store we were at?
No, that's who makes the model.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's pretty freaking awesome though. I like it.
ReaperCon. At ReaperCon, you told me your mixture of alcohol to water ratio for thinning and in my old age. Yeah, and it's 90%.
It's 1 to 9.
Yeah. So, like, 9/10 of the bottle needs to be distilled water, and then 1/10 needs to be isopropyl alcohol.
And spoiler, I just use water. So
Yeah.
you're supposed to use you're supposed to use distilled, but
we have a little filtered thingy, and we just use filtered water.
okay, I like that.
Yeah, it's kind of pretty. Is that still Frankenbrush? No, this is a new Reaper Vex.
Brand new Reaper Vex.
I gave Aaron a Reaper another Vex.
The Frankenbrush works great though.
Yeah.
But you never say no to a brand new airbrush.
He said you probably use it so fast so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's true. We'll have some warm, drinky drinks.
So I don't want to paint his armor purple, but I'm just using this as sort of a guide.
Excuse me. Sorry, I just have to tell you this because I just saw this on Discord. So your son, today's Aaron's son's 21st birthday.
Yeah.
By the way, he went to go buy something to drink, and they didn't card him because how anticlimactic. He's like 6'4" and looks like he's like 25.
Andre the Giant, yeah.
So
Poor kid.
bless him.
They robbed him of his 21-yearness.
Oh my gosh, this makes me laugh pretty hard. Oh, true. Palos. So funny story about that. My sister and I I guess this was probably like 5-6 years ago. We went to Walmart to buy movies. My sister, being the way she was at the time, I guess, I don't know, being weird, she bought a Magic Mike movie.
Mm-hmm.
The second one, whatever it's called. So she bought that. She is 7 years younger than I am. I bought, like,
Another rated
Glass
R movie.
Houses, or Glass, I can't, it was a horror movie. I bought a scary movie. And we get up to the counter, again, I am 7 years older than my sister. And my sister bought her Magic Mike movie just fine. And then I go to buy my horror movie, and they look at me, and I'm also like 4 or 5 inches shorter than my sister. And the lady goes, "Ma'am, I'm gonna need to see your ID." I got carded for a horror movie. And my sister did not.
Nothing.
For Magic Mike. I'll never forget that. So I was pretty mad.
Yeah. That's how it works. In the
Yeah,
hood.
super sucked. I was like 28, 27. How old was I?
I don't know.
I don't know how old I am. I got carded for WoW. It's pretty awesome. What is Magic Mike? Dan, to go to the Googles.
It's a movie about me.
No, it is not. It is not a family-friendly movie. Do not buy it. It is not about a magician. For the Return of the Jedi? Holy cow. I don't. Okay, I'm gonna look up to find out exactly which model it is, because we don't know. We threw the box away, as one usually does. That's not the one I wanted to click on. Yeah, it is, but I'm trying to find the exact name of the model. Instead of just the company. Okay, it is Vold the Dead Lord.
Because he dead.
Yeah. Vold the Dead Lord. I'm typing it in the chat for you. Oops. You can purchase the STLs on their My Mini Factory. Bold the headboard. Close enough. Oh my gosh.
What color should I make his skull? Skull colored?
Green. I don't know. I think I just like it when you paint green because you get so mad at it because you hate it so much.
I hate it so much. But technically, I am using green to highlight this, so.
Oh, you're using the Eric Swenson technique?
Except there's no red, so kind of.
Kind of, okay. There we go. There we go. Bald the Dead Lord. See, Shaken said neon green too. D. Clearman said Skeletor yellow.
So did anyone back that Skeletor game? I wasn't like the biggest He-Man fan as a kid. Like that wasn't my favorite cartoon, so I'm not as attached. But I know there's a bunch of crackheads out there that loved it.
Hollow said use Nod Bone from the new colors.
Which one's that? Nod?
Nod.
Gnawed.
Nod Bone.
Troglodyte tan, is that the same?
No, it's Nod. Babe, it's right there.
How do you know?
Because I can
It's right
read.
here. Everyone knows that. Come on, meow.
Because I can read words.
Ooh, Grave Gloom. I like that green. Wonka Wonka. Wraith Steel. That's probably a metallic color, huh?
Maybe.
Don't you maybe me, miss.
Yeah, we also are trying to kick the Kickstarter habit. We've done really well. I told Aaron he's not allowed to order any more Kickstarters, that I'll handle them from now on, because he misses emails for getting things shipped, and then they get shipped to
Either
addresses
not
that
at
don't
all,
exist.
or yeah.
So
that one was actually a sort of a problem with autofill
yeah,
that I caught, but I didn't catch all of it. So
Yeah.
it ended up going to the wrong state and town, but the right address, which still doesn't help when it's coming from Spain and then travels all the way back to Spain and comes all the way back to America to the wrong address again.
Yeah.
Yes, we just...
It was a mess, but we got it fixed. We got it figured out.
Yeah,
We
Liz got
figured
it
stuff.
fixed.
Again,
she did a
I'm the fixer.
great job with that. But
Nonchalantly kicks my Elegoo Jupiter pledge under the table. Nice.
I'm with you on that.
What?
Elegoo Jupiter.
Mm-hmm. Back the Ghostbuster. Oh, nice.
Oh, the one that
That we did
Pinnacle
for
did?
Pinnacle, yeah.
Cool. Did they actually have a Kickstarter, or was it like some other sort of...
It was a pre-order system. $300 projects backed? Holy moly! Yes, I do, Heather. I fix everything. Yeah, I'm kind of...
a big deal.
Well, that's not what I was going to say.
You are. When we go places, I can just walk right through. Everybody stops you, which is
not
great
true.
because I can just walk right through.
That's not entirely true. I also think that a lot of the time people say your name, but you don't hear them.
That's probably it too. I'm selectively deaf in both ears.
No, I think you're just deaf.
That could be it too.
That's the you don't need to outrun their mentality. Yeah. Bless it.
So after going to 2 cons, Liz, what are your thoughts? I know what my thoughts are, but like, are you happy to be back, or like
I have mixed feelings.
like a pina colada mixed feeling, or
So here's the thing. I love the fact that, we were actually able to see people again and
we saw Kathy Wobble.
actually have fun. Not saying that life with you and Taylor and this house and Marlene isn't fun, But, like, being able to see our friends and stuff was really nice. But also at the same time, I still worry. And it's also really nice. Like, it was nice being able to go and, like, hang out with people and have fun and teach classes again and all that good stuff. But then it was really nice to be able to come home and put pajamas back on.
Yeah, it's funny being home all that time. It's like you think you'd just be like, I don't ever want to go home again. You know, like I'm sick of it. But I was really looking forward to get home. And
I will say, I think it was a little rough for us going to ReaperCon and then coming home and then having
2 in a row was tough.
A week between trips was too short of a time period. And then turning around and going to Gen Con. But hopefully things will either A, be better next year, or B, will be spaced out better. Because I think, so Gen Con usually isn't the weekend that it was this year.
Yeah,
it'll be earlier in the year next year, so we'll have a little bit of time. So, yeah, Palos, the protocol following was much better than what I expected, honestly. But I mean, that also, and maybe that's just because we live in Georgia and protocols aren't super followed here, which there's not really protocols in place.
They are and they aren't though. Like when it started, when things started getting dicey again, like I told you, I went to the Kroger
true.
that one day and I was like the only person without a mask on, so I felt like total turd.
Yeah.
I forgot it at home. I was like, I was literally going there for 2 things.
Yeah.
And then I shopped a little bit longer. I did get in trouble that time. I bought some things I shouldn't have bought.
But we've learned and we put masks in the car now, so.
Oh, I thought she was going to say we don't let him.
We don't let
a house without a chaperone.
By himself. No.
There's no chaperone. Oh no. He's out in the wild.
No. Paula said, "Oh no, I travel a lot. I was down in Texas a lot this summer, so I was worried." That's fair. But I think it also may just be different because it's, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think that people in our industry are just pretty good about following rules. But yeah. I was glad to be home though.
I was not glad to be mowing the lawn, but it did kick me into gear.
So it's weird. I got home and the first thing I wanted to do was clean the kitchen. Like, the kitchen wasn't dirty, but I just wanted to clean. Because that's...
To be fair, though, that is like the thing that she does.
It's the thing I do all the time just because I like cleaning.
Liz is a cleaner.
Because I'm weird. Works out for everybody, though. But... Yeah. So what about you? How do you feel about it all? How do you feel about it all? You just like being home, but you like going?
Yeah, I wasn't, and I told, I think everybody at ReaperCon the same thing, but I was, getting back into the con swing and just all the deadlines, of getting, contest entries done, but also I had a bunch of stuff that I needed to do for Flying Frog, for their booth, and it was just very, very chaotic there the last probably month, and then, I had the same workload of private coachings and all that stuff. So it was just like, there was a lot of stuff going on. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm over this. Like, I don't want to go back into con season. Like, this is like, it's too much. I liked it before, But as soon as I got to the hotel and we saw those first friendly faces, I was like, I am so glad I'm here. I'm so glad. So that was a lot of fun. And, and there was a lot of people that couldn't make it, and we're just looking forward to seeing y'all next year at Adepticon or something. Well, it's a
so
word.
proud of
It's a word that you can slang together. Slang-it-a-dang.
Mm-hmm. You said yonder the other day, and I was
did.
extra proud of you because I don't
Were
even
you?
use that word.
That's the way it goes.
It is.
That's too bright. Too bright. I do like these purples. Good choice, whoever said to use this color.
I don't remember.
It was a very smart, learned person.
Oh, yeah.
Now, if my highlights look bad, that's entirely my fault because I picked
It's
those
true.
colors.
It is your fault. Sorry.
The good news is I can just erase it with my airbrush. So one awesome thing about the airbrush is it's the great problem fixer.
Mm-hmm.
Something's screwed up, you just erase it.
So, for those who did go to ReaperCon and or saw the contest entries online, which piece was your favorite? You don't have to say Aaron's.
But if you do,
I'm just saying. You don't have to say Aaron.
No,
End of the sentence.
what inspired you? Like, there was so much cool stuff. Like, so
Yeah.
much. Like, when I got there and I was like, okay, I got solid entries. And it's like, Liz knows, so we got up to the room like, this is why my entry's going to lose.
Yeah.
A, B, C, everything else is better, you know? Like, it just, oh my gosh, there was like Michael Proctor's pieces, the graveyard. Now, I know a lot of people like the one with the mushrooms and stuff, but I've seen that from Michael before. Like, that's classic Michael Proctor miniature. But his graveyard one with the dude with he's like sort of running forward or whatever, and then there's like all this grave stuff. Oh my gosh. That one I just fell in love with. Like that, like if I could have stolen it, I would have.
Oh my God.
In the nicest way possible,
nicest,
of course. Yeah, of course. I'm not a monster.
Paolo said, I have to say Lord Dave's Mouseling one, but it's my sense of humor. I don't remember what that one looked like.
Was it the one with the elephants and the elephants are getting scared by the mice?
It was that one, yeah.
Yeah. Yes, Lord Dave has he has such a good imagination.
I don't think I got to look at all of the entries.
I didn't either. Like for some, so here's the weird thing about ReaperCon this year. I thought it was going to be like, okay, everyone's going to be there, everyone's going to be depressed, you know, and like it's COVID con, you know, it's just like, oh my gosh, and nothing's going to go down, and we're going to be sitting around at the artist alley just sort of chatting amongst ourselves, you know, it's going to be totally laid back. That's what I was planning on. The lazy side of me was like, yes, we're there. I worked harder at this ReaperCon and not really worked, but just like did more stuff, talked to more people than I think I've ever talked to at a ReaperCon. And there was half the people there.
Yeah.
So it was busy. It was definitely busy. So I didn't see a whole lot of the painting contest either, other than the stuff that I was able to judge.
Zach said, yes, I did the son of a beep before I turned mine in. So much nice stuff. ReaperCon said, I liked Marika's Dio entry a lot.
Yeah, that was a beautiful one for sure.
I do remember that one. All of her entries were really good.
Did anyone go up to Marika's booth, the science booth? I didn't have a chance to go up and talk to them about that. That was really cool.
She had a science booth?
Yeah. It was where Fort Wapple normally is. And her and her teacher, I believe, or something, were there. And they were like just answering questions about, I guess, her thesis or something. And I remember Lane was actually saying, he goes, oh, yeah, I deal with this in work all the time. I was like, it was really interesting talking to her about it.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
I realize that.
And she was painting her entry at the same time. So it was, I paint in bathrooms. Marika puts together a science booth and paints right there.
Exactly. While answering super smart sciencey questions.
Yeah.
Shadow Spawn said, honestly, your dragon was the best piece I saw, but I can't remember the other pieces.
Oh, thank you.
So much to look at, I can't say.
Did everyone see? I mean.
Oh, bye, Heather.
Bye, Heather.
She said that the Poe Raven was really cool.
Poe Raven. Which one was that?
The one where you're like looking through the window.
The diorama. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that one was brilliant. So for those of you who didn't see it, it was a shadow box, right? So you could see inside the box, so you couldn't see around the edges.
Mm-hmm.
And as you looked in, it had like references to a bunch of his poems. So it wasn't just one poem. But as it went back further and further, the scale of the miniatures got smaller. So it actually was like perspective. So there was a girl in the window way in the back, and I think it was like a 54 millimeter or 28 millimeter. But then the guy in the very front was like massive. It was like one of those 12-inch GI Joes. It was,
That's really
so
cool.
it was very, very clever how that was done.
Book Jedi said, so many great models. The Thundercats model was great, and I really like the Eric Swinson model. Yeah, both of those were awesome.
Yeah, Steven Garcia and Eric Swinson just friggin' brought the Hurt Locker this year. Just so beautiful.
Cranky Dog said, ReaperCon can be exhausting for the right reasons. Yes.
Yes.
The ReaperCon, this was about Marika. I talked to her on Friday, but she was cramming to finish her.
Yeah, I spoke to her a little bit, and I hadn't seen her for a few years.
Yeah, it's been like 4 or 5
At least 3 or 4 years. So like I saw her and she like jumped up and gave me a hug. It was like, hey, how's it going? And then that's about all I talked to her.
Yeah. D. Clearman said, I really like the flats that were entered. Yeah. So you don't really see a whole lot of flats that are entered at competitions. But oh my gosh, those were like we usually see them at the historical show in Atlanta.
So do you know Penny Meyer? So she has been to the Atlanta show. She was there, I think, the first year we went.
Okay. She
does. Her whole thing is flats.
Yeah.
She does do figures every once in a while, but she is I think she's a grand master. Like that's a historical thing. She didn't label herself that.
Yeah.
But she's I think she's a grand master for the LA club, and her flats are mesmerizing. It is unbelievable. But I got to tell you, Doug Cohen did one. I've never seen him do a flat. It was beautiful.
It was really
pretty. And the person right next to him had done some flats too.
Yeah.
And they were just gorgeous.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
I'd love to try.
I think it'd be so hard.
Well,
because they make them have such depth, and they're barely even Noelle.
So, but here's the thing:
Noelle does flats too.
You're just mixing 2D art with 3D art.
Right.
You're just
more so than on a miniature.
Right.
I don't do 2D art. 2D?
But I think that if you did, it would help.
What are you trying to say? I wouldn't be such a bad artist.
Take that however you
Take this with a grain of salt. You can draw.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, it's very true. I do. If there was one, there's probably a lot of things that I need to work on. But if there's one thing majorly that I should really work on is actually learning to draw 2D. I know that in high school I had one, that's one major thing. But I mean, there's a lot more to freehand than just drawing a picture on a model. I could put some sort of weird pattern on the cape or something that, isn't really freehand, but it is freehand, you know? So, that's something I need to work on. But I also want to learn how to sculpt, so yeah.
Yeah. Paolo said, also the work of some of the kids, just wow. Yes. Oh, yes.
Yep. They're the future.
And they are
bringing
working their
the
way
heat.
up.
Well, you gotta think about it. If you're a new painter right now, you've got people doing Twitch. You've got people doing, there's, tons of YouTube videos. There's Patreons that you can join and actually, get private coaching lessons from painters and stuff like that. There's so many options right now that are available, to a new painter, whether they be a kid or an adult. It really does. I think the learning curve is a lot quicker now. Or can be. And it's just the opportunities are massive, I think, right now.
Yeah. And then the experiment said, I'd like to try one, but other than the one Reaper sells, I haven't really discovered where to buy them. I'm looking
What's he talking about?
Right now, flats. The flats.
Oh, flats. Yeah. I wouldn't know where to buy them either.
I could probably ask Sabrina.
A historical person. Because I know there's a lot of them, like tons. Because
yeah,
at the Atlanta show there'll be like whole displays of flats.
Yeah. Well, they did like classes and stuff on them too.
Did they? I didn't know that.
I think so.
I don't pay attention
I don't know.
as much as I should.
Yeah, that is true.
So is this still looking evil? I mean, this has gone very pink. But I think it's still giving off like an evilly dark vibe.
What?
Who?
Yeah, I think so. Oh,
I mean,
Alice said I think so too.
Obviously, I haven't painted too much of it, but
Zach said I had to go look it up, but Aaron Hartwell's Spirit with all the blues and greens was a piece I kept coming back to.
was that an open? I think that was an open. That one was beautiful. I love Aaron's work.
I feel really bad. Like I didn't get to see
anything.
I feel like I just didn't get to see anything.
Tish Walter.
I literally had to go to every single piece to make sure that they were sitting in the correct category, but also sitting like with their last name.
But it's different, like checking that they're the right spot and actually looking at them. You know, you're like you might kind of remember some things, but Doug Cohen did more Star Wars stuff. He did that a couple years ago too. He had a bunch of Star Wars entries.
Yeah.
Which was very cool.
Yeah, I'll have to. I'll have to see if I can find some more flats. I typed in painting flats or painted flats, and I got a bunch of shoes.
So did anyone stop by Bryce Coconor, like when he was at Artist Alley? He had a couple entries in the contest, but one of them he didn't finish. And it was that mermaid that he re-sculpted the whole mermaid. Like the only thing that's left is the top of the body, and then the tail and everything is sculpted, and the base is just fantastic. I can't wait till next year because he'll probably have it done by then. That piece was just awesome.
Yeah. Shaken said the not octopus one in open was pretty awesome as well. Was that one? I
gotta be honest. I didn't see much in open at all, except that I entered open.
I think.
Was
that may have
Marika's?
been Marika's. Was it the seashell one? If so, that one I had to go and put on the thing on the shelf, and I was terrified because it's the seashell, but it's sitting in a stand, and the stand is like 3 different pieces of wood or 2 different pieces of wood like stuck together. And if you try to pick it all up together, all of it falls apart. So that was super terrifying. And
so what about Kevin's? Kevin Holderney, I think it is. He did the champagne glass that was broken and like there was liquid pouring out. Oh my gosh, it was friggin' awesome. Yes, that one was cool too.
Paolo said the Warhammer Bolter was surprising to see. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that
really
one.
Cool though. Okay, yeah. Shaken said it was the seashell one. And Bookjida said yes. Mermaid was awesome. Okay, so now I have to look for. Are the entries still on the website? Yes. Okay.
I feel like I should be showing them, but I also don't want to get motored through this painting, so.
Yeah, you keep doing what you're doing. Ooh, excuse me. Do you remember what it was entered into?
What? It was in diorama.
Diorama? Okay.
Like a boss.
Dum, dum, dum.
Dum, 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 dum.
makes me laugh that you and Lane entered the Fenaris.
So that started at dinner the night before. And Lane's like, yeah, I'm entering the Fenari that you stole the color scheme of or whatever. And so I was like, oh, well, then I'm going to have to enter the Fenari that I copied from Lane or whatever.
That's pretty great. No, I don't think it was in Diorama. This is the one that we got from Kevin. It's a little dragon. He's a little guy.
Okay, not that one. That one's fantastic, though.
Yeah.
Keep on scrolling.
But it was in Diorama?
It was in Diorama. Well, there was Jesse's piece. Mm-hmm. Jesse did a dragon that actually Reaper. It is now in the Reaper. Whatever it's called. Gosh, words are escaping me right now.
This one was really cool. The travel down in the dungeon.
Yeah.
Holy cow!
This is like a video game.
Yeah, that was super creative. I freaking loved it. Okay, that's Eric's. Are you sure it was in Diorama?
Pretty sure. It might have been open, but it was like right in the middle of the row.
That's ordnance. Yeah, I'm looking in the gallery. I don't know, maybe I overlooked it?
Maybe.
Okay, there's your... No,
This is
that
where
was
we
your
break the
Baltimore.
internet.
How did I get into that?
So that's in Reaper.
Did you just say it's in Reaper?
ReaperCon. So is it in the actual ReaperCon link?
Go to ReaperCon.com and then the top right, there's years, and then you choose the year. 2021.
Where's that?
What? Top right? No, ReaperCon.com. You went to TeePublic. You're super cute. There you go. Top right, painting contest. At the top, very top, the very top. Sorry.
Tickets.
Just the very top, left,
Login.
middle. I'm just gonna yell out directions.
Back
Left,
forward.
middle.
Whoa! Who
right.
did this one? Oh my gosh! That one was beautiful.
Okay.
Steven Garcia's piece was just amazing. I think the amazing thing about this piece was that those clouds that he painted in the background were blurry. Like, he painted them to be blurry. Well, I don't know if he tried to do that, but his painting, like, if you notice, it is just so stinking clear and crisp. So I thought it was really cool that he kind of did that forced perspective where the clouds were blurry in the background. Mm-hmm. Anyways, diorama. So here...
John said it's risky putting your search bar on stream.
Not for me. I'm super boring.
He really is. I mean, no, that sounded really bad. I just told everybody you're super boring.
I am super boring.
You're not
Thank you.
boring.
So check this out. The bird in the front of this scene is probably just as big as the figure in the back. That's the perspective that he did, which is really cool. Look, there's a ghost in the wall. Nice. This one was cool with the frog. Some cool backdrops and stuff from people. Okay, there's David Cecil's piece. So these little mouselings are running up, and the elephants are freaking out. There's Lane's Fenari. You did a pretty good job on that N&M. Inevitability. I don't remember this one. So some of the stuff was judged the night before. So this is Bryce Kokenor's, one of his pieces. It's this infinity figure running around a corner of that. There's the Star Wars piece by Doug Cohen. Some cool OSL there. If this one isn't in here, this one was a beautiful piece. Did you see this one, Liz? The one with the...
I did not. Like I said, I think I may have saw, like... I don't know, like 5
Yeah.
pieces that
Yeah,
weren't
actual
ours.
sign. She
or
worked
your
the.
private
Oh,
cookies.
this is it right here. You can't
I
tell
passed
because
it like 4 times.
yeah, it's only the top of it. So this is actually a like a dollar store wine glass or whatever, champagne glass, and he broke away this. Which I was actually talking with him, and he said that it was surprisingly hard to break the plastic glass in a way that worked for the composition. But this one was really cool. I think Reaper actually bought this off of him.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Michael
super cool.
Dutcher? Yes.
Oh, it was Michael Dutcher?
Dutcher.
Okay, I don't know why I thought it was Kevin's.
I don't know why.
Yeah, I just sometimes.
Your brain. It's okay.
Yeah,
You're
you
getting
know how
old.
it goes.
It's fine.
I spent a lot of time with a lot of people. Here's Jeff Henson's. That piece was really cool. So we put a bunch of
Kimberly
burns.
Hart's is right there above it. Look at that.
Yeah, very nice. We didn't judge that one either. We missed a lot of. Unfortunately, like I said, they judged the night before just to help us out, which was great. I like that, but it also meant that we skipped over a lot of stuff. We didn't look at it as close. Because when we're judging, like we actually look at every entry very close. That one's really nice. I love this backdrop. That looks really cool. Cool little beach scene with some dragon protecting his eggs or her eggs. And I think this chick's about to shank the dragon.
Is that what's happening?
No, actually the girl is she's gonna help out. But in my mind I like when they're
that little mouseling's super cute. I love it.
Oh, that's a cool scene right
Sorry,
there.
I didn't mean to get you like super sidetracked from your painting.
I was like looking at miniatures. Okay, we'll jump back to painting.
Yeah.
Paint cam, initiate! Alright. Dun 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 dun.
Because if I don't try to keep him on task,
it ain't gonna happen.
He will sit and look at entries.
Mm-hmm. And then we'll go over to the heavier metal, and it will just go downhill from there.
Yeah. He'll never stop.
That is correct.
Also, I did find a website that if you wanted to try out painting flats, Sabrina came to the rescue. It's thelittletinsoldier.com.
Wonder what they're made out of.
Aaron.
Just such a disapproving look. What's funny is they might not be made out of tin. They like maybe that's what they used to be made out of, And they're like, well, we can't change the name to the Little Pewter Soldier.
I don't know, but they do have
some dope stuff.
The hand. What's his name from Game of Thrones?
Describe them in detail to us. Yeah, the little dude.
What's his name?
Cute little guy. My favorite actor in the world. Yeah. Whatever his name was.
That guy.
He was in Elf.
He also was in Knights of Badass.
Yes, which we watched just the other day. That was awesome.
Oh, I just love that movie. So yeah, they've got like all kinds of things.
All kinds of things and stuff.
All kinds of things and stuff and things. They even have little like anime flats.
Believe it or not, they actually have dioramas and stuff too.
They have Christmas ones.
Seems strange, but
it's
not that strange.
I'm sorry, I'm just... They have fantasy flats. Some of them look kind of...
I'm going to be honest, I like looking at the flats. I am not interested in painting them at all.
Okay, well, I'll paint a flat, and then you can be like...
And then I'll tell you, I'll go, dang, that looks really nice, but I'm not interested in that at all.
Yes, Peter Dinklage. Not Will Ferrell. Or Tom Hanks.
What about Tom Cruise?
No. Tyrion Lannister, yeah, that guy.
That dude.
Peter Dinklage. That was the name I was trying to remember. He's great.
He is great.
He did a Peter is taller than Tom Cruise. Sorry. Peter Dinklage did a college commencement speech once. It was a great speech.
It was themed solely on raisins, which was weird, but...
Yeah, he talked a lot about raisins and grapes. Nacho Supreme? What?
Oh, yeah, that's from Taylor?
Yeah, bean burrito, no onions or red sauce. Correct?
Yeah, and a nacho supreme combo. Or, yeah.
You said taco supreme. But okay.
Oh, did she say nachos or tacos?
You told me taco supreme.
Yeah, I did, but did she say...
She said nacho supreme.
Yeah, let's do that instead. Because it comes with a taco supreme. This is going to be a rough night, folks. I've already eaten, and now I'm having second dinner. We're all having second dinner.
Yeah.
The con life is just so tough, let me tell you.
True story, Dan.
Does anyone else want anything from Taco Bell out there? And
Yeah, Zach said make it 2 and I'm on my way.
okay, cool.
Bella said full of beans, no less. Poor Liz. Yeah, you know what? As Aaron really loves to remind me, I chose this. So.
She did.
It's
entirely her. This is entirely her fault.
You know.
It's so it's really funny. We josh around and stuff a lot and everything, but I know when I piss her off, it's like she just joked, and then I reel it way back in. I'm like, okay, yeah, I might have taken it a little bit too far.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. The good news is she does pretty good at driving me crazy too, so it works out. Our crazy cancels each other's out, hopefully. Just a little bit.
It is true.
So is anybody else painting, or is everyone just not painting?
They're just watching me paint, baby.
Oh, Lordy. Pressure's on. I figure eventually y'all are going to realize I can't paint.
Oh, Palos is painting.
Cool.
ReaperCon is painting a mermaid. Awesome. Are you painting the drunken mermaid? From ReaperCon?
Did you see Rhonda's Drunken Mermaid?
Oh my gosh,
it was beautiful,
yes.
yeah.
Holy cow. Declarement says I haven't painted anything since ReaperCon. You should
How
change that
dare
right
you?
now. I'll make Aaron stay on.
We'll stay on all
than-
night.
I'll make him stay on for 30 more minutes. We were 30 minutes late, so.
Yeah, we're gonna go. We're just gonna go and go and
We're
go.
gonna go for the 2 hours. So why don't you get out some stuff and then just kind of paint for the rest.
Just blob it on.
the
You can do the dip and flock. Just or
Dip and flock. Yeah, 100%.
just pour a bottle on top, squirt it, and you're good.
RiverGun said one of the Dark Depths one, Mermaid Ranger. So not Drunken Mermaid.
Nice.
Palo said trying to get an army done for Origins in 4 days. Ooh. Bless you. That is.
Where's Origins at? Is that East Coast or West Coast? Or is it middle?
What
do you mean you don't know?
I've never been to Origins.
How dare you?
I was.
Well, maybe
supposed to go
Palos
last year.
can tell us.
I was supposed to go last year with Jonathan and Elizabeth, but it got canceled.
That's right.
So, Columbus, Ohio.
This might sound bad, but I don't even know where Ohio is.
It's north, babe.
All right. Phew.
It's fine. Declarement says it usually takes me a month to come down from the con and build back up. That's fair.
Mow your lawn.
Mow your lawn. It'll help. It'll help me get a big year.
Having those post-con blues. Mow your lawn.
It'll fix everything.
You know what's funny is, for me, it kind of did. Because, like, it kicks my butt so hard. Like, well, not that hard. The more I do it, the more I get used to it. But it's still not something that I enjoy doing, really. So it's like, once I've done that, it's like going back to work and painting. Like,
Yeah.
how many models did I put together this week, Liz? Like 400, I think.
You put together a lot.
A lot.
Yeah. Book Jedi said that he's painting an astronaut dog.
Nice. Where's that from? Is that from Awakened Realms, that one game? Shoot, what was that game that we got, babe?
No, sweetie, that was a cat. It's astronaut key.
Well, they might have had a dog in the Kickstarter. I don't know.
I don't think so.
Is that a Reaper mini?
What, the astronaut dog? I don't know. Book Jedi, where did you get the astronaut dog? Asking for a friend, aka Aaron. D. Clearman said, I have an entry for LVO staring at me. You should
Get
do
on
that.
Dude, that's right around the corner, man.
Yeah, it's like tomorrow.
Okay, so I was like,
next
all
year.
the cons are at the end of the year. I'm good. And then all of a sudden it was the end of the year.
Yeah, I know.
Are you?
Ohio is 2.5 hours east of Gen Con.
Okay.
Is where Columbus is and Origins. Dan said south of Lake Erie between Pennsylvania and Indiana. Yeah, those directions don't
It's in America. Great.
He asked me, he didn't know where Georgia was. Before he came.
To be honest, I don't know where Georgia is. I just live here.
You still don't know where it is?
No.
Oh, bless it.
Like right outside of Denton, right?
Yeah, babe.
Right outside Texas.
Right outside of Texas. D. Clearman said my Texas grass doesn't really need mowed. Oh. Ours does because we keep getting rain. Like a lot of rain.
Yeah, and it's
rains
nice and
rains
nice and
rains.
humid, nice and hot, so it grows like wild grass. Fire.
Wait, Ohio. Doc said south of Gen Con about 8 hours. I don't understand. Is it 2.5 hours east or is it 8 hours south? Those are two very, very different things.
Listen, you guys are going to have to get your directions right.
Oh, Georgia is 8 hours south of Gen Con.
Yeah.
I like the directions from Gen Con, though. This is probably the best.
Is that where everything will now be based on where it is away from Gen Con?
Yeah. So, like, California is, like, 3 days drive away from Gen Con.
Yeah.
All roads lead to Gen Con.
They just
We
might.
just use a frame of reference you're familiar with. Oh, my goodness.
How many Tootsie Rolls is that?
Right?
4.8 trillion.
That would be an interesting thing to try and figure out.
How many Tootsie Rolls?
Oops. Not on the wrong page. Paolo sent me miniaturesandhistory.com. There's more flats. Oh, these are cute. It's like a little guy with an easel. I like it. Yeah, it is a giant dude. His name is Vold the Dead Lord.
Voldemort?
No, Vold. But like Voldemort, but different. That's a new thing. Thanks. Doing a really good job.
I'm just really excited about things.
So Aaron's been trying to paint larger things lately because his
You
eyeballs are
can't
failing.
see. But quite honestly, it's more impressive. Like, I can actually see this from across the room. Whereas a 28 millimeter figure.
Dan said my wife nearly squeed when she saw your Voldemort entry.
Sweet. That's what I was working for.
My mom asked if she could have it.
Yeah, it was actually a job.
Yeah.
That thing sold.
It's funny because she saw the dragon first and she was like, ooh.
I want that.
I want that. Can you give me that? And Aaron was like, no, that goes to Reaper. And then she saw the Voldemort entry and she was like, ooh, I want that. Can you give me that? And Aaron goes, no, that was commission.
So did was everyone able to see the dragon? Because I know we didn't finish it on stream, and we only spent like or 3/4 of a year painting it on stream. If you didn't see it, I'll bring up a picture.
Yeah.
But if everyone saw it, then
I can do one better. I can just link.
You can do that too.
I got it covered. That way you don't have to risk people seeing your boring.
I know. So boring.
Your boring stuff. Max painted. Oh, hey. Hey. Says he needs new glasses too.
I just need giant magnifying glasses on my face.
Alice said, because I'm a nerd, to answer your question, end-to-end Gen Con to Origins is 3,717,120 Tootsie Rolls.
And you win the internet tonight.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
We should, actually, I'm gonna, hold on. Say that again.
Okay, 3,000,000.
Okay.
717,000.
Okay.
120 Tootsie
Okay.
Rolls.
If I remember, I'm gonna put that somewhere on my House of Vex screen with no other explanation, and then we'll all know that that's how many Tootsie Rolls it takes. Everyone else won't know. They'll just be like, "There's random numbers up here."
Yeah. I love it. How do I copy a link?
Oh yeah. Keep on rolling, baby.
So, I was trying to get a link and I accidentally hit embed post. And when you look at the embed post link that it has,
It just says like a dragon butt.
No, it says to fart of Lovejoy. That's so great. Okay.
And there you
But
go.
that's not what I needed.
The old fart of Lovejoy.
Fart of Lovejoy. Yep.
Oh yeah.
We'll do this, we'll do it.
Keep on
Here
rolling.
we go. Okay, so this was his finish. Oh, I'm missing a lot of things. Is that jumbo, regular, or fun size Tootsie Rolls? Probably the little ones. It's my new ribbon for ReaperCon 2022. Distance from my house to ReaperCon and Tootsie Rolls. Just a number, no other words or explanation. I love it. G's per hour.
We're just gonna end up with all this random crap like that no one understands, like,
Yeah.
and like even to each other we won't understand it.
Yeah.
It'll just be like, okay,
That's a thing.
probably means something. We're good. Let's go with that.
Okay, so that is, I just linked. Oh, excuse me.
Whoa.
Sorry. I just linked to the Voldemort finish entry
Mm-hmm.
in chat if everybody would like to go check it out. If not, that's cool too. But then
what about
also-
the dragon?
I forgot that's what I was looking for.
Yeah. I was like,
Sorry.
that was really funny. Hey,
I
link
got really
the dragon.
excited.
I put Voldemort up.
I'm really excited. I'm sorry. Okay. And then this is to Shavirna.
Oh yeah. Shavirna.
You spelled it very wrong, so I can't.
Unspell it.
How did you spell it? I think that's wrong.
I think I looked it up online.
Yeah, it's
oh, then maybe I looked up something that someone else has misspelled, and then
yeah.
that could be it.
Sure, it's spelled. Yeah, that's spelled wrong. You just put the Y in the wrong place.
Oh, okay. Well,
it's not that big of a deal, but you did spell it incorrectly.
okay.
I won't hold it against you.
I hold it against myself.
I still think you're cute.
Well, that's
Counts for something.
good.
So that's the link to the dragon.
So yeah, the dragon looks quite a bit different than where we left it last time. But that's because I put a ton of time into it before ReaperCon. I think, if you remember, I decided not to do the electricity all over the whole dragon because it would have just taken forever. And then if you notice, there's electricity over the whole dragon, and it took forever. But it just needed it, you know? It was like, shoot.
So you just did it.
So I just did it. Sometimes you just got to do stuff.
So true. So true. Ow. But yeah. And then if you're really bored, you can also check out the rest of the stuff that's on his page. Because he's been like a little painting fiend.
Busy bee.
There's lots of things.
Yeah, there's all the new Shadows of Brimstone stuff.
You
Cause,
finished like 6 projects right before we went to ReaperCon.
yeah, it was. Yeah, like I said, there was a lot of work going down.
Yeah. Because you finished commissions, you finished Heather's model, the Fenari, you finished
Chris Spot's model, Andy's model. I started Andy 2's model.
Yeah.
I know a lot of Andys. We also started Andy 3's model.
That's true.
Apparently, if your name's Andy, I'm probably doing a commission for you right now. So.
It's a good chance.
Or recently finished one.
True story.
So I like this color, whatever it was, the gnarled, whatever.
Bone.
Blown.
You said gnarled.
Nod blown.
Nod
And then I'm mixing
mixing
the Death Knight black into it, and I really like that. So not only does it
has like a purpley color to it.
I think that might be because of the Death Knight.
Oh, ignore me.
But yes, it definitely has a little bit of purple in there, which sort of ties it into the rest of the model.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So it's funny because I planned on painting that little pirate. But then I was like, well, okay. I'm airbrushing this color, and that's the color I wanted to start this dude on. And
I thought you were gonna paint more on Belial.
I was gonna do that too. Best laid plans sometimes never get laid. With the plan.
That was no.
You need to take your mind out of the gutter because I was not talking about that.
Taco Bell is back.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Belial is coming along.
Yeah, really cool. So I started Belial at Gen Con.
He's gonna go grab it.
I already grabbed it.
Oh, look at that.
It's already been brought. So these were the little lava men that I was working on. So I wanted to do a theme. Obviously, I haven't done the back. So that's just wet blended right there. And then this is more work into these, into the front. So that looks pretty cool. That one actually has a base. Cool. But their buddy is Belial here. So he is coming along.
Takes up the whole screen.
Yeah. So definitely need to, if you notice, like these guys, the saturation is much stronger. So obviously I haven't gone back in and insisted on color a lot. Like I did insist quite a bit down here, but even there, my saturated color is just definitely brighter. So I want him to be like, like they're all down in the depths of hell or whatever. They're in the caverns of cinder, which is down deep inside the earth, and so everything's like magma and stuff, and so I wanted him to be like he had magma inside him and it's like breaking out. So it kind of looks like electricity right now, which I said I'd never do electricity again, but you know, all of a sudden I'm doing it. But it's gonna look, I want it to actually look like there's cracks in the armor and the glowiness is coming out. So this was all done basically by hand at Gen Con because I didn't have an airbrush. But I am going to start.
This is the Belial figure from Flying Frog.
Shadows of Brimstone, yeah. So normally Belial is in like tan clothing and stuff. He's different. But there is one card where he's like the dark Belial or something, and so I wanted something for down in the caverns of cinder. So I think when they're all together, it'll be a pretty cool set. So and then obviously I gotta make his base. But maybe that's another thing I'll do in Blender. That'll be cool.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
So yeah, just kind of working, like getting the different glows and stuff going, and it's Gen Con, so I got more done than I thought I would, but you don't get very much done at Gen Con.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talking and stuff like that. So yeah, that came out really cool. I'm working on this little orc dude right now. Crazy color scheme. So this is supposed to be like a 1980s orc, 1990s orc, so like the old bright colors and everything. But I'm going to put a little bit of a Lovejoy twist on it. But yeah, so this is coming along. I'm still working on getting his colors even brighter and brighter. Like I kind of toned down the orange up here, so I want to bring it back sort of like the gun. But then he also has a banner pole that's going to have a banner on it, so it should be pretty cool in the end. Definitely shows its age. This is definitely like 1990s for sure. So pretty cool.
Lisa Frankfurt. That would be cool.
Here's another one that I'm working on. This is actually my buddy, the sculptor for Flying Frog, for Shadows of Brimstone. He makes his own D&D figures, so he made this Mind Flare. And I was like, he showed me it, because we were talking one day, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. And he's like, well, do you want a copy of it? I was like, duh. Of course, his version is 12 inches tall. I shrunk this down to 75 millimeters, but this should be pretty cool. So I'm excited to get started on this one. But see, I'm doing bigger figures now. Like no more of this tiny stuff. Where are those other models that I had?
Which other ones?
I'm losing everything. I'm losing my mind.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Which other ones?
I'm working on another Thanos. So that's just getting started. This is just the base airbrushing. We were talking about cleaning the airbrush, so maybe like when we finish off today, I'll clean my airbrush all the way. So if you were wondering,
what, you're gonna clean it all the way?
Yeah. I suppose so.
Sweet. All right, guys, y'all are in for a treat.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
An Aaron or Liz clean? Are you gonna do a Liz clean?
I get them so clean, you'll be shocked. I can't believe I lost those figures.
What figures are you talking about?
SpongeBob and
You
Deadpool.
aren't spending. You're not painting SpongeBob.
I'm painting Bob and Deadpool, but it's SpongeBob.
Oh, you just had them.
I know. I set them somewhere. Okay, so you've got your airbrush. So I know I talk about this a lot in my classes, and I probably talked about it on House of Vex or whatever. But when I'm cleaning out in between colors, I'm always looking into my cup, and that's why I use a cup. So when I spray into it, see how like the cone of spray is like really nice and forceful, and I don't want it to start doing that. See how it's starting to like undulate. If you see that undulation while you're, changing between colors, like maybe when you were airbrushing, it seemed like everything was going fine. And then you go to clean your airbrush and, oh, here they are. They were in the other room.
No, they were on the other side of your coat.
Oh, there we go. So I got these ones that I'm working on too. So working on a lot of stuff here. And then I have a whole bunch of stuff for Flying Frog that I can't show anybody.
They're secret.
It's always secret. And I've got more Necrons that I'm painting for myself. So maybe that will be in a House of Vex at some point. Because there's a lot of airbrushing in those. But, so, like when you first get your airbrush, just spray water through it. And watch, like feel how hard the air is on your finger. So you can always remember how hard the air is blowing. Because if you ever have airflow problems, you'll know. But then also just look at memorize how that cone of spray goes out. And that's what it looks like when it's clean, brand new and clean. Now, if you're spraying and it goes like this, it starts undulating, that means that there's a clog started. And so, you may not have to clean it out thoroughly between colors, but maybe on the next color, you might want to do a little bit better clean. So, mine actually looks pretty good, but I will still give it a thorough cleaning. So I'm going to pull the needle out, and I'm going to take my towel, wipe that off. I'm going to do one more load of paint in here. Also, you'll notice I don't take like a brush or anything to it and wipe it out because I don't want to re-agitate all that dried paint in the sides because it will go down and clog my airbrush as well. So I'm just going to spray that out without a needle at all. Still looking good. And then we'll take the front end off. Taking everything off so I can get my nozzle out. So
Your nozzle?
My nozzle. So I got my nozzle out. Dropped my airbrush.
Oh my gosh.
Don't worry about it. I'm a professional. Okay, so I usually just roll up a piece of paper towel like this. If you've got an extra cup, you could put a little bit of isopropyl alcohol into it and dip it in there. I'm just my nozzle seems clean because of the way the water or the cleaner was spraying out. I'm just gonna run this in and spin it around. Now, if I get a good point on it, it won't ever get all the way to the tip of the nozzle, but it'll get pretty far up in there. And let's see if we can get a little bit closer here. So I just twist it and pull it out. You see there's a little bit of paint there. Now, you want to be careful, but I always use my needle because there's always going to be paint dried up in there. And the best time to get rid of it is when it first dries in there. Because if it's in there for like a month or something, it's going to be harder and harder to get out. So what I do is you can't see inside, but I kind of just gently scrape the inside edges of the nozzle. I'm sure Ken from Badger would have a heart attack hearing me say that, but you're not scraping, you're just gently coaxing paint out. Now I can tell the difference. Like right now I can feel metal on metal. I can tell the difference when there's actually paint there. It actually feels like a softer, it's softer. It feels different than the metal on metal. So this nozzle is very clean. So I'm good to go. But I always check it. Now we're good here. You notice my cup is dirty on the inside, but all this paint on the inside edges of the cup isn't going to affect my airbrush. Like it doesn't clog my nozzle. So I just leave it dirty. Maybe once a month I'll dip this whole thing in isopropyl alcohol and then take a brush, or I've got a Teflon brush that I can just sort of swing around in here. And it takes a little while to get out, but it cleans it out thoroughly. And so once a month I do a deep cleaning where I get all that out. Now the other thing is, if you feel like there's a bunch of paint trapped inside like these areas right here, you can always use a couple of these little, I think these are, what are these called?
applicators.
Okay, they're like glue applicators, but we have a connection where they have all different sizes. So technically, you could also run these up into your nozzle. It could be another form of, maybe you do the big one first, and then you do a little bit smaller one, so it goes a little deeper, and then you do the smallest one. That, again, won't go all the way to the tip, but at least you're getting it fairly clean in there. So you can do the same thing. Maybe I'd use the bigger Q-tip looking thing for up in here. And these are really, you're not going to scrape the brass on the inside of your airbrush with these. As much as like the pipe cleaners are really harsh to the inside of your airbrush. Now they clean the airbrush really well. So maybe once a month I use pipe cleaners. The rest of the time I'm using these things. And that just sort of keeps it clean. Again, get that going good like that. I'm going to reload my airbrush. Put all the parts back on. This just goes on finger tight. So it should be easy to get on and off. If there's a little bit of bubbling right here, that's normal. There's always a little air leak between this seam right here. And when you're cleaning it, a lot of times you'll get water around here. It's not water coming from the inside. It's actually water that's on the outside of your airbrush that will bubble up. That's not a problem. You know, some people, it's annoying. So if you got like some chapstick, you could put some chapstick or beeswax around the threads, and then it won't bubble like that anymore. But it doesn't affect your airbrush's performance at all. So I've got that. My trigger fell out. Probably when I dropped it on the ground.
Oh.
Awesome.
Well,
I just don't have a trigger anymore. So
it's somewhere on the
hey,
ground.
House of Vex in effect.
We'll find it.
So once I get that, you can put the needle back in. That's going to annoy me because now I can't spray it. Shoot.
Well,
I've got to have other airbrushes. I do.
or just grab. It's on the ground somewhere.
Yeah, it's somewhere. I'm not going to spend 10 minutes looking on the ground for a trigger. Okay, so I got another one. This is the high roller trigger. I believe they sell this on the Reaper website. I prefer, well, I like them both, but I do prefer the high roller one. It just, you have a little bit more control, tighter control. Liz prefers the shorter one. It really doesn't matter which one you get. I like the short one too.
I like the short one
because her fingers are a little bit smaller.
A
Yeah.
little bit. Kind
A
of
lot,
like baby hands.
a lot a bit smaller. So, but I like it both ways. So it doesn't really matter to me. But I've been rocking the high roller trigger for a while now. So
Okay, I got a couple of questions.
okay.
Is there any sort of soft O-ring inside the airbrush at the base of the nozzle that you could damage by rubbing those little cleaners in that area?
There is. I'm not sure exactly where all the O-rings are. Hold on a second. Let me spray this out. So spray out that. So I ran some thinner through. I'm going to pull my needle back about 1/8 of an inch and lock it down. I'm going to run one more cup of thinner through. Again, I'm watching that spray to make sure it doesn't undulate at all. And then I'm going to run one thing of spray through. This is the Badger spray through. I really like this stuff. It really helps for dry tipping, or not dry tipping, but the inside of your nozzle clogging. It just helps clean all that paint out of your nozzle. So I'm going to run that through. Got that. And then that's good to go. So technically my airbrush is ready to put away. So if I got my needle all the way out the front, I'm going to pull it back about 1/4 of an inch. And then this way, if I drop it, you know, like it doesn't bend the needle. I've bent more.
You just banged it against the desk.
I do, like this. So that doesn't hurt the needle at all. You probably don't want to do that though, because it might be actually hitting the, no, it doesn't hit the nozzle. So you should be good to go. Like don't do that normally, but it's just to prove a point. So I've got that needle pulled back. And this basically, if you have the needle all the way forward, one, if you drop it, you could bend your needle. But two, even though I sprayed through several times, there's always going to be a little bit of paint left in there. It's very diluted, but it's enough to when you go to, airbrush the next time, like tomorrow, the needle will be stuck forward. And I think that's what the other gentleman's problem was. He was pulling the needle back, but it was still sticking. So I think he's got some paint back in here. There's something he's doing that you got some paint back there. But if it does stick, just undo the chuck like that and then twist the needle, because that will break the seal. If you just try to pull, it's really difficult. But if you just twist it, it breaks the seal, and then you can pull it out.
Okay, speed talker.
Right.
We got more questions.
Okay.
Thank you. Is there a way to remove the noob spray function? Not sure of the correct term.
This thing back here?
The chuck that keeps the needle from moving? Is that what you're talking? What are you talking about? They said yes.
So you want to take that off? Now it won't. Your airbrush won't work if you take it off, but I'll take it off for you. So you take the back safety part off of the airbrush, and then you can just take it off.
Spin.
Yeah. So if you notice, this is very precarious right here because it's a little bitty threaded hollow piece, and it's also got a cut in it, and that's how it tightens down. That part can break very easily, so that's why it's not a good idea to leave your airbrush. Like I used to airbrush like this with my Harder Steinbeck because that was the only way to move the needle around very easily, and I ended up breaking it, so that sucked.
So yes, there is a way to remove that, but you shouldn't remove it.
Yeah, there's really no reason to remove it, but if you need to remove that, that's how you do it. You take the whole back end off, just unscrew it, What was that? The question before? Oh, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to take this out again. So the O-rings on the inside of the airbrush, and again, I've never blown one out, so I believe... So I think there's one back here, and then I think there's one kind of on the inside, but you can't really see it. It might be on the inside edge of this. Basically, it's just there to let the needle slide in and out. You never want to touch those at all. Like, don't ever try to take them out. Like I've heard of people prying it's like little silicone rings, and they can only be put back in with a machine. So if you pull them out,
they're out.
They're out. It's over. You have to send your airbrush not back to Reaper. You'd have to actually send it back to Badger.
Yeah.
So for them to fix that, and that would not be good. Yeah. Don't take those out.
Okay. Do you use their needle juice?
No.
Okay.
So I have, and here's the funny thing. It didn't help so much for dry tip for me. Like it seemed like maybe it helped a little bit, but then I would start dry tipping again. Where it did help, I noticed, is the inside of my nozzle wouldn't collect paint as quickly. So the problem is I'm cleaning it so often anyways, I don't collect paint. Like it's, if you want to use it, but I don't use it.
Marianne said, I think he means the training wheel at the back.
Okay.
Acts for the limit as the limiter for the drum.
Yeah. So if you want to take that off, same thing. Pull your needle out, just unscrew it, like completely. There's really no reason why you would need to kind of looks cool on there.
I feel like it. I don't know.
Like you just have a hole on the end of the airbrush.
Breaking the needle or something.
So if you look at right here, that piece is coming forward. So for those of you who don't know, when you pull the needle back, that stops it. So if you only want the needle to come back just a little bit, you put it right there. Now I can only pull it back a little bit. Otherwise, I never use this because it doesn't allow me to hard spray. So I just pull it back to where it clears that spot right there. If I don't see it anymore, my airbrush can go all the way back. Maybe I can pull it back even further. Yeah, so that's all the way back, and there's actually a gap between it and the back of the chuck right there. So just pull it back a little bit inside, maybe 1/8 of an inch back, and then put your needle back in, and it won't affect your airbrush at all.
Yeah. I've heard of people replacing their O-rings with beeswax. That is a bad idea.
I think that's
because I am 99.9% 99.9% sure that voids the warranty on the airbrush.
And that also, I don't think would work that well.
I don't think so either.
So
don't do that.
what people do, what they do with beeswax is if you had, like, if you used a pipe cleaner, and I know some people use it for every color change, and that's a really bad idea because it will actually scratch the inside. And if you lose there's like an air seal. And if there starts being like where air can travel down the line, even in the tiniest little scratch, it will start affecting the way your airbrush sprays. Like you might have bubbles in the cup constantly or things like that. So what people do is they actually put beeswax inside the nozzle or inside that shaft right there. And then it does eventually come out, but it will fill those gaps for a while. So that might also be what people were talking about. I've never heard of people like switching out the O-rings for beeswax. I think that would be a bad, horrible idea.
I think it's probably a good decision to just not put anything in your airbrush that isn't supposed to go in your airbrush.
Don't mess with the O-rings.
Because it will void the warranty.
Yeah, and the one, like, all the stuff we use is pretty gentle on the insides of your airbrush. But I do know that, like, the guys who use it for Hollywood and special effects and stuff, they're airbrushing all the time. They're using like hardcore enamels and stuff, and they're in really gnarly cleaners that actually do eat those things. And so they're constantly having them replaced. But I don't think you'll, like, in what we do, unless you're experimenting with some harsh, enamel paints and stuff, you probably won't have any problems. Any other questions?
I think that was all the questions.
That was it?
If y'all have any other questions, feel free to ask now.
Or forever hold your peace. Because we're eating Taco Bell. We're having second dinner.
We are having second dinner, and I can't believe we're having second dinner, but
I'm really happy we are.
Yeah.
I don't know why. We haven't had Taco Bell in a long time.
Man, I need second dinner. I need to eat like a hobbit.
Taco Bell is pretty gross compared to most of the other Mexican restaurants around here, but there's something endearing about it. I think it's just, it comes in, it looks the same when it goes in, and it looks the same when it goes out.
Why did you have to keep talking?
We gotta go.
When I start saying no, that usually means Aaron. No.
Reel it in?
Yeah.
Something like that. All right. Well, cool. Well, it was great hanging out with everybody post ReaperCon. It's fun getting some painting done. I got a little bit of paint on a model, so that's cool. We talked some airbrushing, and you all have a great weekend. And there's Liz's hand. It's so cute.
It doesn't reach very far. I tried.
Yeah, close enough. One of these days we'll get more webcams and we'll have something over on her side, but we just don't have that long of cords yet. Once we get the new desk set up, I think we'll be better suited for like having everybody on screen. So, which would be really cool. I want you guys to see Liz too. All right. Anyways, we're probably rating someone. I don't know what that is, and I don't know how it's done.
Oh, I don't know either.
Maybe we're not. We don't know.
know.
It's all good.
Reaper John,
bringing it, taking it to the bridge, baby.
All right. Well, he said I got it.
He's got it. Okay. See y'all later. Be safe, and we will see you next month.
Have fun. Peace
Bye.
out.